mentioned your conversation with the president of C-SPAN. In the Globe and Mail, he argued that it's tax policy and red tape that prevents him from being able to be competitive in this space. So if you're not willing to cancel this loan agreement, will you work instead to lower taxes and to help make C-SPAN competitive so that they can actually compete in this space?
I had a very good conversation with the CEO of C-SPAN. He's very enthusiastic about the meeting we're going to have. What he mentioned to me was that Canadian workers earn more than workers in other jurisdictions, and they do, and that is a good thing. We want him to be providing high-paying, good jobs, and he does, and I told him that I absolutely understand that, and I support that. We committed together to working hard to get Canadian ferries using Canadian steel built at Canadian shipyards, including C-SPAN. And I did congratulate him on an MOU that he signed with Algoma Steel a couple of weeks ago to get Canadian steel into the icebreakers that he is building. And that's why, we need to get beyond talking points and talk about rewiring the supply chains in our country. We have to support our steel sector, our aluminum sector, softwood lumber, and that means convening the conversations with Canadian manufacturers to ensure that our steel, aluminum, and lumber sectors are producing the products that our manufacturers need. And governments do have a role to play here, ensuring that we are placing the orders there. And, I do want to go back to Mr. Lawrence because I worry about those same workers.
You don't worry
These
about shit.
conversations can be
off.
Really important because
You're
if we get orders placed now, then that fills up the order books of our steel mills, of our aluminum smelters. It gives them the confidence to keep on operating.
Minister, again, you have an opportunity. You could say, no, we don't want to have an industrial carbon tax, which will put our steel workers at a disadvantage. That is something that your government has said that they want to do. Now, Minister, do you support the review of the remission framework by the Prime Minister to target cheap foreign steel that come from countries like the PRC?
I was very glad as finance minister last June for the first time to announce that Canada would be putting tariffs of 25% on Chinese steel and 100% on Chinese EVs. We announced that last June, had a consultation, and in October of last year,
you're very glad you destroyed Canada with the fucking Trudeau idiot.
So this is an issue that I've worked on for a long time,
Eric McNeely is the president of the BC Ferry and Marine Workers Union, and he wants to know why your government will say that it will put tariffs of 25% on cheap steel from countries like China, yet it seems like you're going to let this one go by tariff-free. Think of all the aluminum and all the steel components that go into making these ships, Minister. So what do you have to say to Eric McNeely and the people that he represents?
The voice of labor in these issues is absolutely essential. And that's why at the shipbuilding meeting that we are convening, we will be inviting unions to participate. It is absolutely important right now, given the tariffs the Canadian steel sector is facing, for us to find uses for Canadian steel in Canada, and I am utterly committed to doing that.
Minister, those steel and aluminum tariffs were threatened by Donald Trump months ago. And yet it's only now that this committee started putting the heat on that you started this Made in Canada approach with those, groups that are underneath your watch. So you won't say we want to cancel the industrial carbon tax. You won't say you're going to cut red tape and be competitive. You simply will refuse to. You're totally silent when it comes to the loan of $1 billion by the Canada Infrastructure Bank to offshore effectively Canadian jobs in steel, aluminum, and shipbuilding. And everything you're offering here, minister, is talk. You have failed
all they do
the
is
test.
talk. They failed
It's
everything.
August 1st. We
They're
have
a bunch of
an
fucking
executive
failure.
order
You
that's
low-life
come in.
piece of shit.
You
Should
come
be
to this
all in
committee
jail.
and you talk. You're not willing to do the basics,
you,
which
Mr.
is to, no, let me just finish here.
Well, you're going over your time
The
by 20
basics
seconds,
of standing up for Canadian workers. This was your opportunity. You and your government
Thank you
failed.
very much, Mr. Albert.
Yeah, they failed. They failed for the last 10 years plus. That's all they do is fail. They're a bunch of fucking failure, low-life piece of shit that should be in jail. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one, my friends.